So I finally had to cancel my Cybertruck orders and get a refund on those $100 deposits or order $100 orders. It's refundable, so should be able to get that back. I actually ordered 5 Cybertrucks, but Tesla recently sent me an email indicating that the discounted price of $7,000 for FSD was not going to be honored anymore after June 15th. So there's no advantage to me of keeping that reservation in the possibility that FSD would go up in the future. That was actually the goal, is I was going to keep that order in there to be able to get the cheaper price. Obviously, I wanted to have a Cybertruck. I wanted to potentially have multiple Cybertrucks to put on the Robotaxi network, which obviously everything's going to take longer than originally anticipated. So that's unfortunate. The biggest disappointment I think I have with the Tesla Robotaxi and Cybertruck in particular is that it's just later and not what was promised. So the Cybertruck, I was really excited about it. Really wanted to have a truck, especially wanted to have a truck with 500 plus miles. I mean, just a Tesla with 500 plus miles would be amazing. I would love to have that, and the utility of a truck obviously would be great. That was going to be $70,000 originally, which was going to be probably too much for me to afford, but I did also put in orders for the dual motor, which was supposed to be $50,000. And turns out now, after a year and a half of being delivered, the Foundation Series originally, which they started at $100,000 with $20,000 worth of options that were just included with that price. But even a year and a half later, they are really only selling the dual motor range of 300, and it's about 330 miles of range for the dual motor, depending on the wheels option that you get. And it costs $80,000. So you do get a tax credit right now, so it would be $72,500. And they do have, supposedly, I don't know if we've seen any on the road or anybody that's actually taken delivery of one, but they have a very stripped down version of the Cybertruck, which has cloth seats, doesn't have the outlets in the back, and that sort of thing. It's still over $70,000. So still, that is over the price that I originally expected to be able to get a Cybertruck for. So there's no expectation at this point that I will be able to get a Cybertruck. So I'm kind of just moving on. I'm going to cancel those orders, get that $500 back, which is nice, I guess. But yeah, really disappointing that I don't get to have a Cybertruck. Maybe they'll eventually get down to the single motor, and they can get the price down or something like that. But the stripped down version, it takes out a lot of the things that I'd want, like the tonneau cover and all that stuff. So the vault, you don't get the vault with the hard shell cover there, which would be a great feature, obviously. So not getting that, not getting the outlets in the back, just really doesn't seem worth it to me. And I was hoping that they would be able to get like a dual motor or a single motor down to the, like, say, $60,000 range or something, with all those features in there. So at this point, it looks very unlikely that that's going to happen. I don't know if maybe they'll change their mind, make a more traditional looking truck or something like that, and sell that. But in the meantime, I'm just going to focus on, hopefully these new lower cost models possibly will be something that I'll be interested in, or we'll just stick with our Y for now, and just see how it goes. So sad that I don't get to have a Cybertruck, or at least not anytime soon. And it's also sad because I don't think that there's a very high take rate of the Cybertruck. So we were originally expecting that they would be selling or building at least about 250,000 Cybertrucks a year. That was the original projection, and that they were going to be obviously getting it in a price range where there would be demand for that because they had over 2 million pre-orders for it. So the change in the price and the change in the range definitely made a big hit. Obviously, there were some things that it didn't previously promise, such as like the 4-wheel steering. The steer by wire is great, and also the 48-volt architecture, which to the customer doesn't really make a whole lot of difference, but that was supposed to be a lot of cost savings with the wiring and stuff that they had in there. So you would think that somehow they would have been able to get the cost down, especially because the Y, it went up considerably in price there for a while when the market changed. But it also has come back down actually to lower than it was before. So I would think that when they announced the Cybertruck and they were expecting it to be $70,000 at that time, it should be similar to that now, because of the way the market has changed. And obviously they just put a lot more cost into it that was probably unnecessary, unfortunately. Kind of like they did with the Model X, making it a lot more complicated than they probably needed to be in order to make it a more mainstream vehicle, because the Model X, $100,000, obviously not very mainstream. It's an awesome vehicle, but makes it a lot harder to sell to the masses. Anyway, that's it for this one. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.